guys, welcome back to your girl Starryluuv channel. Before I get started, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of y'all who tuned into my last makeup story time. That video is going up. So I woke up the other day and I looked at the views and I see that comments are still coming in. I thought because I haven't posted anything in like 3 to 4 months, I wasn't really getting any like traction or anything on my channel. But a girl was wrong. Y'all ran that video up to 6K views. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Thank you for the new subscribers. If you're new here, welcome. Today we're also doing a makeup story time. My face is freshly washed, moisturized. I just gotta prime and do everything. So today's video is also a story time. The story time I'm gonna be telling you guys, the story that I will be telling you guys today is a story about the time my aunt and I got into a fight. So let's get started. This is a new shirt that I got from Shein, by the way, not sponsored, but the shirt is cute. My boobs look great, my little mom boobs. But okay, and let's start. You guys already know the drill. If you don't, all products will be listed in the description box below. We're gonna do something on the more so editorial side, which is my comfort zone. So sit back, relax, enjoy the story time, get some snacks. Let's get started. So this happened around almost 5 or 6 years ago. So it was around Christmas time. So I say so a lot. My aunt came from out of state with her child, well, her son, he's a grown man, but came from out of state with her son, and she basically stayed at our house from 2 weeks before Christmas all the way to the new year. When her son first, I'm giving you guys the backstory first. So when her son and her first arrived, everything was cute, everything was gravy. I was working at a restaurant at this time, and I used to like come home with food. I'm not really a big eater, like I don't have a large appetite, but some nights if I worked late until close, I would come home with food and stuff, which was normal for me because like if I don't eat today and I know tomorrow's my off day, I'll more than likely come home with some food. So I remember one night I brought home some food. I went to bed, I said hi to my auntie and my cousin, and I went to my room and I showered of course, but I went to sleep early that night. Woke up the next morning, I was gonna eat my chicken for breakfast. Chicken gone. I'm like, yo, who ate my food? My cousin really fixed his mouth and was like, oh, that was your food, cuz? I thought you brought that for everybody. I said, brethren, when did I tell you that food was for everybody? So, turn around. I'm pissed now because it's like, I really brought my food home for me to eat. Man's really played with me. So now I'm pissed. Everybody else in the house know that I'm pissed because why would you eat somebody's food without asking? Like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Anybody who knows me knows that. So I turned around and I'm pissed now. I'm like, Ma, you need to talk to your sister so she could talk to her son, because why is it that you just going in the fridge and just eating whatever you think is in there? Fast forward, I'm telling you guys multiple stories in one, like how I did the last story time, so you can understand the full extent of why things got to the way they got to. So I remember a day I got off of work and my plans were to just go home and sleep because it was a trying day. I was tired. I just wanted to go home in my bed. So I got off of work and my mom called me. I don't know why I told her what time I was getting off of work, but I told her. She was like, hey, could you come and meet me, your aunt and your cousin in Chinatown? And I'm like, for what? She was like, oh, they don't know how to tour around. They basically wanted a tour guide. And I'm like, Ma, I just want to go home. Like, I don't really want to be outside too late. I got work in the morning. I got to open the restaurant tomorrow. She was like, I promise we're not going to be out that late. So I had gotten off, I want to say between 5 and 6 that day. All right, cool. Made my way to Chinatown. So my aunt grew up in New York. After her and my mom and all of their sisters and my grandfather migrated to America from Trinidad, they lived in New York. So I feel like even if you haven't lived in New York in a few years, a couple of years, you should still know how to get around. That wasn't the case. So I met up with them in Chinatown, right on Canal Street, and they asked me to take them to souvenir shops. I'm like, souvenir shops? Are y'all kidding me? Took them to all the souvenir shops. They really in the store buying I Love New York t-shirts. I was tight. I'm like, yo, I really came all the way out here for this. I didn't complain. I didn't say nothing. I didn't make up my face. I just carried on. So after that, now my cousin mentioned that he wanted some Italian pizza. So if you know New York and you know Chinatown, you know Chinatown is not that far from Little Italy, but it's also at the same time still a pretty long walk. So my cousin is like, yeah, can we go to Little Italy? And at this point, I'm like, yo, it's brick outside. Remember, we're in December. It's brick outside. So I'm like, yeah, I really want to go to Little Italy. Still took them. We still went. We still went to Little Italy. Get there, I find the pizza shop that they were talking about, because I usually like to go there and get pizza as well. Not that often, but I would go there myself. So we get there, they ordered a pizza. Bro, nobody had money for pizza.
Nobody had money for pizza.
The people them spent up all their money at the souvenir shop. They give the Asian man all their money at the souvenir shop, and they don't have no money to buy no pizza. Bro, I'm pissed, because at this point, my makeup clientele wasn't that big. So the only money I was really making was money working at this restaurant job. So I really had to take my little restaurant coins to buy food. Not just food, buy bev too, because you know, you're thirsty. So I'm over here spending up money or whatever. I mean, yeah, they said thank you for the food. Food is nothing to give to anybody. But had y'all just been honest in the beginning, I would have never had an issue buying y'all food, you know? So, turn around. Christmas comes. I don't remember where I was Christmas. I'm not sure if I was in the house all day or if I went somewhere. That part is really foggy to me, because I do remember coming into the house and my aunt telling me that she left me Apple J in the fridge. So I come into the house, my aunt goes, hey, I know you ready to eat or whatever. I think I took a nap. Yes, that's what it was. I took a nap. She was like, oh, I left your Apple J in the fridge. Check the bottom of the fridge, the left-hand side and the back. I'm like, oh, thanks, Auntie, we lit. Boom, boom, boom. My cousin goes, wait, that was her Apple J? I had to suffer through 2 to 3 weeks of that young man eating at my food. So I'm like, wait, you drank my Apple J, bro? Mind you, homie had his own Apple J. He said, well, I went in the fridge and I saw another one and I just thought, you know, nobody else took it, so let me just take it. I'm like, did you ask? I was so upset, bro. I really blacked that night. So then my aunt was like, it's okay, calm down. I'm like, is there more Apple J? She's like, no. I said, so why would I calm down? Like, this is so annoying. So then, fast forward, I don't remember what happened that night, but I remember that's what happened, and everybody was just, they were flabbergasted that this man really drank my bev. So then my aunt comes, no, New Year's Eve comes, and my friends and my sister's friends, we all decided that we were going to go to this New Year's party, which was cool. Like, the party was a vibe. Went to the party, and everybody, I had friends who ended up coming from out of state and staying at my house. So we all went to this New Year's party, came back to my house, and it was like a big camp session in our living room. There were air mattresses, sleeping bags, and people sleeping on the couch. I miss those days. So I wake up to the smell of turkey bacon, frying, eggs cooking. I wake up to that, but I go back to sleep because I'm like, you know what, I'm not ready to get up for real yet, so I'm just gonna go back to sleep. Now, when I wake up for real and everybody else wakes up for real, we're like, ooh, we about to eat, we about to grub, you know? Bro, grub where? Grub freaking where? So come to find out, get up, I go in the kitchen. There's not one crumb left, but we definitely smell food in the air. So then I go to my mom's room, because that's where her sister was residing. And I'm like, Ma, you went outside and cooked breakfast this morning? She said, no, why? I was like, well, I went outside and ain't no food out there. I'm confused. Because who cooked? So come to find out, her sister was the one in the kitchen, Chef Boyardeeing it up for everybody, or so I thought. So I'm like, Auntie, you cooked? She said, yeah, my temperature was dropping. I was like, oh, so you didn't cook for everybody? She said, no, when my sugar is dropping, I can give a shit about anybody else. I said, whoa, wait. So you mean to tell me that you came to my house, used my electricity, my gas, my oil, the contents in the refrigerator and the cabinets to create such a captivating aroma with the food and the supplies within our kitchen, and you only cook for yourself? And she was dead. She said, yes, I only cooked for myself. I'm like, nah. I said, Ma, get your sister, please. Because how could you? And I'm really pissed now, because if I ever go to somebody's house, a guest or not, I would never do some nonsense like that. So now, ooh, did I get makeup on my shirt? No. So now I'm pissed. Like, I'm really, really pissed. And Auntie deadass don't care. She don't care, bro. So I went to the kitchen. Bro, the eggs were done. The eggs were done. The bread was almost done. We had about maybe 8 friends over. So I had to now go out, leave the house on New Year's morning to go to the grocery store and buy stuff to make breakfast, because my girl really got up. I should not say my girl, that's my auntie, but my girl really got up and decided, like she said, when her sugar dropping, she could give a shit about anybody else and just cook a fire ass meal for just herself. So now I'm tight. I really went back into the room because I was flabbergasted, because ain't no way you really got up and thought, yeah, this is a great idea. Let me just go make food for myself. And she cooked for my mom, her son, and she made food for my sisters. I'm like, nah, you really got up and said, you know what, let me just cook for myself and 3 other people and forget how everybody else in the house feel. She lost me with that one. So I go back in the room. I said, you really got up? I said, I'm sorry. I just need to understand something. You really got up and made food for yourself, your sister, your son, and my sister, and didn't make food for everybody else? She said, yes. I said, and you're okay with that? She said, why wouldn't I be? I said, no. Nah, bro. You lost me for real. And she couldn't understand why I was so upset. Went to the grocery store, and it's like they just been violating since they got there. Oh, something in my eye. Her and her son really just been violating since they got there. So now I go to the grocery store and I'm tight. Like, I'm in the grocery store talking to myself, because it's like, why would you do that? Why? What is the reason? Why?
What was the reason?
So, turn around. I come back home, and I'm really upset. She's in the room now talking to my mom, talking about, oh, why would this girl come and ask me if I just cook for myself and my sister? She's like, why wouldn't I just cook for myself and my sister? And I went back in the room, because now, like, you really talking about me to my mom, and it's not like my mom was defending me. Sister girl was sitting there eating it up. She was eating it up. So I turned around, go back in the room. I said, first of all, I pay bills in this house. I buy groceries in this house. You're really not about to come in here and tell my mom that you don't understand why I'm upset. I said, I'm upset because I make contributions in this home. I make this house a home. You get what I'm saying? Like, I live here. At the end of the day, when your vacation is done, you are going to go back to where you came from, to your home. I said, you would not like it if somebody came to your home and just cooked for themselves, and you yourself were there, and you potentially had guests in your home, and they would not like that. And this lady really trying to sit there and tell me that she would not mind. So I'm like, okay, sister girl, okay. So then we got into an argument. I don't remember everything word for word, but we definitely got into an argument that same morning, because she came back outside and was like, you really had the nerve to come and ask me something like that. And I'm like, what you mean I had the nerve? You had the nerve to wake up and cook food in a home where you don't reside and just cook for yourself. Like, that's goofy behavior. And she told me, oh, your child acting rude, this, that, and the third. And my mom's still eating it up. And I'm like, bro, you really not going to defend her? So now I black. And honestly, truthfully, I know that it's going to sound disrespectful, but at the same time, like, you're trying to embarrass me in front of my friends when you're in the wrong, and I'm not going to let that happen. Yes, I was wrong for going off on her. I didn't curse at her, because I don't curse at my elders. I don't disrespect my elders like that. But I will tell you about yourself. But sis was really, like, beasting. So now, I turned around, and I left the house and went on a walk because I need to cool down. Because I was ready to the door. Baby, the door. So I turned around and I left the house. My friends were like, no, Star, you need to calm down. I get it, like, your aunt really violated, but you gotta chill, sis. So I'm like, you know what, you're right. Let me go for my little Husa walk. Because apparently the first time I went to the grocery store was not enough of a walk for me. So go outside for a walk. When I'm coming back, she's exiting the building. So I held the door for her because out of respect, like, I'm not gonna let the door slam on you. Granted, I'm not happy with your presence right now, but I'm not going to be disrespectful to the point where I wouldn't hold a door for you. Like, that's weird to me. So I turned around, I held the door for her, and my girl, because I'm pretty tall, I'm 5'8.5", but my girl, who's at a staggering and I say staggering 5'3". No, maybe 5'2". I think my mom is, if my mom is 5'3.5", yeah, she might be 5'3" too. So at a staggering 5'3", my girl really said and looked me up and down, and I said, nah, bro, I'ma just let sleeping dogs lie. I'm not in the mood to be arguing with this lady. I already said what I needed to say, and that was that. Not going back and forth with her. She walked out the door, and my girl never said thank you. I said, you're welcome. She sucked her teeth. I said, nah, the disrespect, it's a disrespect for me. So I go back upstairs, and I'm like, Ma, your sister gotta go. Your sister really gotta go. So she come back in the house, and she starts with me again. At this point, I'm not even responding to her. I picked up, I went into my mom's room, and I started packing her suitcase. Packing up that suitcase, bro. Packing that joint up. And she come into the room, what are you doing? I was like, you have to go. It's time for you to go to grandma's house because I can't do this no more. I said, I've been respectful. I've been a great housekeeper. Not housekeeper. I've been a great host for the past 3.5 weeks. But what you did this morning was OD, bro. And the fact that you're not even remorseful for your actions tells me all that I need to know. So she's upset. My mom is like, no, stop it. I don't want this. She's not even telling my sister that she's not even telling her sister that she's in the wrong. So I'm like, nah, it's my mom for me. It's my mom not supporting me for me. It's my mom not telling her sister when she's wrong for me. Because had we gone to that same sister's home and we did what she did, oh, baby, it would have been a problem. A big problem. So, turned around, and I'm packing the bag. And everybody's like, nah, Star, you gotta chill. Now, this time, my sister's like, nah, Star, you need to go for a walk. So, I left the house. And I think I went to the park, and I was just crying in the park because it's crazy to me how you could be like this with family, you know? Like, how are you so comfortable being OD? And honestly, truthfully, this auntie, like, she's the, I don't want to say problematic auntie, because I'm pretty sure this auntie watches my YouTube channel. But at the same time, too, she is the problematic auntie. Out of all four, what's more than four aunties, but out of all of my mom's sisters, she's the one that everybody mostly have issues with. And it makes sense. It really makes sense. So, turn around, left the house, because that's what mommy wanted me to do. I ended up at my best friend's church, and they were having choir practice. It was a Friday. I think New Year's fell on a Friday that year. Yeah, I think so. So I'm sitting in the back, and my best friend's mom and her aunt come to the back, and they're like, "Hey, Star." I'm like, "Hey, Auntie, what's up?" I call my mom's friend's Auntie. So they're like, "What's going on?" And I told them what happened. They was like, "Nah, we walk into the house now. Just stay here." I'm like, "Okay, I wasn't planning on going back now anyway." So I'm just sitting there. And it's just crazy to me, bro, that they acted like this. I'm basically doing, this is a sidebar, I'm basically doing my makeup normal natural, because I'm gonna go ahead and film a TikTok after this. So I'm just doing my base makeup today. So I stayed there or whatever, and I guess my aunties went and talked to my mom and her sister. I don't know what they said, I don't know what they did, but I'm on my business. Stay there, and when I went back later on that evening, everybody was sleeping. Not a noise in the house. Woke up the next morning, my auntie and my cousin were gone. Thank the Lord, because I was able to walk around the house naked again. I was not walking around the house naked with my older cousin there. Hell no. So then, not a couple days later, I want to say maybe that same day, my grandma called me, and she was like, "Did you kick your auntie out?" I said, "Grandma, how did you know?" She said, "I know you, you know. I know you." I'm like, "Grandma, you had to be there. You had to have been there. You wouldn't understand." She said, "I know she's a handful." I said, "Grandma, they were eating us out of house and home. They were just planning on being disrespectful." And then my grandma told me that when they came, she asked my auntie if it was me who put her out. And she was like, "Ma, we asking me out." My grandma was like, "I knew it was you. I just knew." I'm like, "So you know me?" Like, I know this looks crazy, but I'm gonna blend it out. So a couple of days passed, and even after these people left, there was still drama. So my mom's oldest sister, she happened to have been at my grandma's house, and my cousin is like this big gamer. He used to be a game developer for like the animation and stuff. So he had like a portable gaming monitor, and my aunt had came into the room and sat on the bed, and she not dropped, but it was an air mattress. So when she sat on the bed, the monitor was at the other end, and it just flew off the bed, and it broke. Now that's none of my business, because I wasn't there. I wasn't the one who broke it. But my auntie called me and was like, "Hey, if I send you so-and-so amount of money, could you meet up with him and take him to a GameStop or PC Richards and see if they have it?" I know, shockingly, but PC Richards are still open. And I'm like, "Okay, we can go to a couple stores." I was like, "Tell him to meet me at, I want to say 10:30. I said, "Tell him to meet me at 10:30 on the A train. I'll be waiting at grandma's stop for him." So I get there for 10 o'clock. Well, for 10:30. Bro, I was waiting until 11:15 for him. And when he comes, he had the audacity to have an attitude with me. I'm like, "Boy, you're not about to act like this with me. You not. Because I ain't doing nothing to you." Mind you, this cousin is what? I think he's 9 years older than me. Another sidebar. These P. Louise eyeshadow bases really double as a great blush. Great blush. So, turned around, took this boy around to multiple stores so he could get his portable screen. GameStop didn't have it. They ran out. Nowhere basically had these things. So I had to tell my auntie, I was like, honestly, auntie, I think I might have to go on Amazon or check eBay to get one for him. And she was like, all right, well, you have my $75. And when I found out the price of it, come to find out, this gaming monitor was not cheap. It was not cheap. That $75 wasn't even a dent into how much I had to put in for that monitor. After these people done came to my house and disrespected me, that's how you know God is real, because I could have said I wasn't buying nothing and sent auntie back the money, but I was like, you know, let me just get this monitor, because this boy was really in tears in GameStop. He was really in tears, and I'm like, nah. Not this grown horseback man upset about a monitor. And why auntie that broke the monitor couldn't give me the money towards it? Why she couldn't take him to buy the monitor, you know? So I'm like, you know what? I'm not arguing with y'all. It's cool. It's whatever. Turn around. And I ordered the monitor for him. And this cousin, I don't even speak to him anymore. I speak to his mom now. Since I had my daughter, I've been speaking to this auntie now. Like, if my mom is on the phone with her and she says hi, or I see that she's on the phone, I say hello as well. Stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. But at that point in time, I was not talking to either of them, because y'all are just wild. Like, those were not the vibes. So, turned around, bought the screen for him. I had to order off of Amazon. I want to say, I don't know if I have the receipts for this one. But I want to say, no, I definitely checked, but they no longer sell that brand on Amazon anymore. So I can't even find out how much I paid for that screen. But I want to say that screen had to have been close to what? Almost $300. And auntie only gave me $75. So I ordered the screen. I sent him all the details. Like, I sent the screenshot of everything. I got the address, like his home address and everything. So everything would have been sent there. So now I'm over here confuzzled, because I'm like, okay, it says delivered on my end for Amazon. Homie never, till this day, he has never texted me to tell me thank you for repurchasing his gaming monitor. Nothing. When they left New York, my cousin really blocked me on Facebook and blocked my number from contacting him. I want to say he probably did that once he got the gaming monitor, but before that, I had no reason to contact him. But I was really confused, because I'm like, nah, I really want to hit up Amazon and be like, hey, I never got my product, so they could send me my money back. But that wouldn't solve anything, because cousin would have already gotten his monitor. Like, that really bugged my spirit for a very long time. So I never physically fought the auntie, but it got pretty close. It got pretty close. They just really blew mine. Like, you guys can sound off in the comments, because I really want to hear your opinion on this one. This one wasn't as mixy as my last story time, but I've been promising my Instagram family that I would do the story time on this particular story about the time I fought my auntie. It wasn't a physical fight. It was more so a verbal altercation, as you guys have heard. But I feel like over time, things built up and it went further than it needed to go. I ain't like that. I ain't like that. So I was just downright ghetto. Like, how could y'all act like that? How you act like that? How? But yeah. But no, seriously, I want to know what's wrong with this cousin. I really do. Oh no, there was more. I forgot. So the day when me and his mother got into the argument, he had came into my mom's room, was asking me to not pack up his mom's stuff. This is when his mom went on the walk. Wow, how did I forget this? His mom had went on the walk, and my older cousin, this is why I'm mad at him. My older cousin had came into the room, and he was like, please don't do this. And he started crying. I'm like, bro, why the freak you crying? Nobody did nothing to you. Nobody beefing with you. Nobody angry at you. He was like, I know, but I don't want you guys to argue. I don't want you guys to fight. I don't want you to kick us out. I'm like, bro, but y'all was supposed to been go to grandma's house. I'm confused as to why y'all still here. I was like, I really got to wear clothes in this house because you're here. And it's not that I was kicking him out, but if you guys had made plans to be at grandma's house, y'all should have been dipped. He was like, nah, I understand, but we haven't seen Auntie in a while, and I just wanted to be here. I was like, do you know how uncomfortable it is being in a house with a man when you've never been in a house with a man? Like, I gotta watch what I wear. Not saying that he's a creep or anything, but even still, like, I gotta watch what I wear, how I move. I don't trust nobody, so still. He was like, no, I understand, but you don't have to kick us out, whatever. I'm like, bro, it's the time. I said, you've been eating this house at home. He was like, it's really a lot because nobody knows what I have to deal with. He talked about wanting to commit all of this, and that's what made me even more want to just kick my aunt out the house, because how could you have your son who takes care of you and treat him like that? Like, how dare you? And I'm like, wait, what? And then come to find out, he was, I'm not about to spill all the tea because that's personal, that's family stuff. But she did so much other stuff to him, and it was kind of traumatizing for me to hear. So, like, me being my protective self, when I hear certain things, it's like, I'm in attack mode at this point. There's no turning me back, because, like, you really violated somebody that I care and I love. Even if we don't talk every day, if I love you and I care about you, I'm not going to allow other people to treat you terribly. So when she comes back in the crib, I'm like, nah, you really gotta go. You got my cousin talking about wanting to, you out here doing X, Y, and Z. Like, I don't like that. So that's when she wanted to fight me. Like, she was really like bucking up to put hands on me. And I was like, so let's go. And everybody's like, Star, no, don't do it. Don't fight your auntie. That's why I was mad at him, because, like, you really, and he was like, oh, I never said that to you. And she was like, where did you get that from? I never said that to you, Star. Why are you lying? I'm like, brethren, I'm lying. You was just crying in my arms. I was holding him like how I hold Z. Bro, pissed. When I say pissed, I was pissed. So then, that's why I wanted him to leave, because I'm like, nah, no liars can be under my roof. Granted, it's my mom's roof, but no liars can be under my roof. That's why I was mad, for real. That's really, really why I was mad. Because he really came to me, yeah, was confident or whatever, but still. Ooh, I got the white line. I got the white line between my lips. How y'all ain't tell me I got the white line? Y'all ain't real. Y'all ain't real for real. Wow, thought y'all had my back. That's crazy. That's real, real crazy. I'm just cleaning up my side contour. Y'all can let me know in the comments if y'all really thought Auntie was bugging, or if I was one that was bugging. Like, let me know how you would feel like if somebody was staying at your crib and they got up one morning and decided to just cook food for themselves, and let's say maybe one other person that lives in your home, and there was no food for you to grub on. Nah, for real, like, I want to know. Tell Star she bugging, for real, for real. I'm not gonna get mad, I promise. I'm gonna go record my TikTok, and I'm gonna come back and show y'all the final look, and then we're gonna end the video. But do y'all see my locks? My locks are flourishing. Let me put my little tender release down. Okay. Okay. Ow. I pulled a hair around my head. It's giving what it's supposed to give, even though the look is not completed, but it's doing it for me. Alright, so let me go complete the look for my little TikTok reel, and I'll be back.